got some stuff over here for you guys. It's over here on my screen. I'm going to read some of it to you. Pretty much this is the basis on the FBI and the issues that are going on with the family that will help, hopefully, with the FBI case, considering, Joe Bruce, there's rumors circulating about his skin cancer. Some people think it's a hoax, others think it's true. I guess he released a statement. My friend Julianne was telling me that his last dying wish is that the juggalos be taken off the gang list. So, a couple of things. Found a website over here. It was a comment about juggalos and what people would think. One person says, I judge anyone who claims to be one, juggalo or juggalette. I can't help it, but I do. This is from PDMK. Again, the site will be on my description. For those who don't know what one is, Google it, is what PDMK, replied to that. This person says, I have no idea what that symbol is, being the hatchet man, or what those people are. This person says, who is me husband and Sweet Pea, I tried to sum it up in one sentence, but it just goes deeper. Paula, do you ever hear the argument that Zomg, Z-O-M-G, but they're Christian? I just want to punch the person and say, oh, but I am a Christian, so it's okay. I love ICP, says Chastity B. Chastity Bell, I'm guessing. I love ICP. It's all in good fun. Totally funny off-the-cuff music. I don't proclaim to be a juggalette and am not a groupie, but I love the music, as does DH. And no, he is not a juggalo. That's interesting. I instantly think the car has depreciated in value so much as soon as the sticker is attached to it. I'm assuming that would be the juggalette sticker or the hatchet man. So they're banned groupies with a stupid little cartoon character logo? I'm still kind of confused, says Talk to the Shoe. So these are, people who don't know who juggalos are, don't know what the hatchet man is, nothing. Pretty safe to say if we were dangerous, people would have heard about us. On to the next. To discuss. This is the Juggalos Fight Back Polestar. The Insane Clown Posse is now gathering the Juggalos that it will no longer stand aside as the FBI deems its followers as a hate group. The group announced its plans to sue the government agency and has launched the website juggalosfightback.com, which includes the following message. As many as you've heard, the federal government has indicated in official public reports that Psychopathic Records recording artists Insane Clown Posse's fan base, the Juggalos, is a criminal gang emerging throughout the United States. On behalf of the Juggalos, the Insane Clown Posse and Psychopathic Records are investigating a possible lawsuit against the FBI or other government agencies that have violated the rights of Juggalos in the mistaken belief that they are gang members. If you or someone you know have suffered any negative consequences with a governmental representative, including law enforcement, border patrol, airline security, or other local, state, or federal governmental agency, or employees as a result of your status as juggalo, we want to know about it. Go on to says, if you would like to share your experience and to have your situation reviewed by our legal team at no charge to you, please fill out our short questionnaire. We want to show our appreciation and support for all the fans as we are prepared to assist you in learning about your legal rights and to fight for you in court. If possible, please take the time to fill out the questionnaire so we can keep apprised of the situation and assist you in getting the legal help that you deserve as a juggalo, says Joe Reinhardt. I think that's how you pronounce it. Reinhardt. Something. Yeah. Do you wear a hatchet, man? Okay. I should have put a little thing here before I started, but this is something that is on the Juggalo Holocaust website, which they believe would show proof that it can in fact be gang related. So let's hear them out. Do you wear a hatchet, man? Yeah, you in a gang and your ass better be ready to do that thing. You rep the JRB and you'll never switch. JRB. Juggalo riders, bitch. Did you beat your girlfriends? You dissed your boys? Did your crew's name originate in Illinois? Did you cross your enemies out with a K? Then you gang related too, motherfucker, like Violent J. Violent J in the song Gang Related, off of Hatchet Warrior from Anybody Kill It. Not a bad song for its time. You asked to do we gang bang. We bang in a gang mang? Do we bang bang? I'm a gang banger mang, and I bang in a gang mang. You can suck my wang mang, bitchy boy, richie boy. It's a Southwest thing. Violent J in the song The Show Must Go On. It almost sounds like a mockery to me. We love gangbangers and we hope they love us back. We just some wicked clowns and it's been like that. I don't understand why some beefing in town when we nationwide but still Southwest down. Violent J in the song Murder Go Round. Throw your signs in the air. What's set? I don't check. I don't care because I'm down with the clown everywhere because much clown love is in here. Violent J in the song Clown Love. Gangsters banging, nuts straight hanging, chilling in the alleyway, signs straight waving up in the air around here. They don't care. Get your motherfucking melon busted for a stare. Love pumping through the heart and flowing through the veins. Pop a motherfucker like it ain't no thing. Bloodshot eyes from puffing on the bud. Let me see that rag. Let me see that love. Too dope in the song Clown Love. If you're not hanging, you bang in a gang. You're down with the clown. Hey, bitch boy, what are you doing? What are you doing around here, you little bitch? Don't you know? On clown ground, bitch boy. Forks up, forks down. We all got clown love, bitch face. It's a song called Hey Vado. Now, this next portion is on the Juggalo Holocaust website. It's the myths and their responses. I'd like to go back to those lyrics. Again, they are just lyrics. That holds no water whatsoever. You look at Tupac, you look at a couple of other groups like that, it really has no bearing whatsoever. Violent J actually came out and said there was a song called Cop Killer and stuff like this where they actually got a letter from the FBI that says, you know, hey, stop it. We're watching you. Watching you. Well, we didn't get that. We didn't get a letter. We didn't get a notice. We didn't get a warning. We didn't get a second warning. We got slapped with a label from the FBI. Financial gain, in my opinion, revenue goes up. If they target a music group with whatever, they get to take money away from Hatchet Gear. They get to tax the shit out of it. They get tax money and increased revenue. Psychopathic loses its fund. People stop putting out the merchandise and Hot Topic and Spencer's Gifts because, oh my god, we have gang-related material. This is horrible. When, in all reality, it's music merch. Now, I'll be satisfied if we win it out in court, but I'll also be satisfied that if we lose in court, they take the maggots, they take the NFL football teams, they take the NHL hockey teams, the baseball teams, and all these other fanatics who've got the tattoos, who paint their faces up for the shows or for like Mushroom Head or for sporting events. If they put them under a gang list, because I'm pretty sure that riots have broken up when a team is won or lost. And that seems to be a pretty basic thing. But they're not gang members. Why? Sports is a major thing. It's mainstream. See, Psychopathic Records, in my opinion, is mainstream. To a degree. It's everywhere. Wear it. Some people wear the shirts. I don't know why. You know, it's something you can go pick up at Hot Topic and Spencer Gifts. At one point, it was just something you can get offline. Charms, shirts. But once, you know, Hot Topic picked up on it, I mean, I remember years back, they had Fago at Hot Topic. You could get t-shirts, you could get hats, you could get thongs, whatever it is you wanted with the Hatchet Man, with ICP, you can get it. Twisted, though, you didn't see much Twisted merch. Well, back then it was all ICP. Now it's ABK, Blaze, Twisted, all over Spencer's and Hot Topic. However, I would like to point out that here in New Hampshire, we still have ICP and Twisted, Blaze, all that stuff in all the Spencer Gifts and Hot Topic shops. It's called the live free or die state for a reason. Pretty much, they don't care. We're a tourist trap. You know, we don't have sales tax, so people from Massachusetts, people from Maine like to come up and buy our stuff. And of course, some teenage kid who's pissed off at mommy and daddy or wants to get back into school or whatever, they can wear ICP stuff out here and it's not banned, which is neat. As a matter of fact, someone bought one of my charms that I had custom made and wore it in school, and they got complimented on it by teachers. So it's different everywhere. I was down in California, tried turning myself in as a gang member. You know, my friend had a video camera and everything. And the police officer said, "What are you doing?" I says, "Well, I got a Hatchet Man tattoo. I got a Hatchet Man on my chest. You know, I got ICP stuff head to toe. You know, cuff me, put me in, register me as a gang member." He went, "Who said that you guys were a gang member?" I said, "The FBI." He said, "This is Chico Police Department. We don't care. We're not the FBI. It's just the FBI. They're only the FBI. We're the police that are here. The FBI never comes down here." And this is a town of like 80,000 plus people. So, why? I know Illinois, Indiana, but if you look at Illinois and Indiana, where there's like, you know, my friend Julianne, she was telling me about the stories of, you know, the cops chase her down and do this and that because she's a juggalo, and she was actually, you know, registered as a gang member. There's also gangs. If you watched an episode of Gangland, I think it was on like MS-13 or something like that. It was gang, and they were called the Insane Juggalos. It wasn't like an episode they did on them, but it was like in the flash of like all the gangs that are in the area with these other dangerous gang members. So, yeah, pretty much the Juggalo Holocaust held no water in my opinion with lyrics, because Tupac, you know, Ice-T back when he was in a punk band. Yeah, he was in a hardcore punk band. For those who didn't know that. I could list them by the millions. Anti-Flag talks about, you know, you're gonna die for your government. They got a lot of anti-political songs and stuff like that. They're not on a gang list. They don't know their fans are, and these are the ones that talk about, you know, Molotov cocktails, blowing up places, you know, blowing up the White House, blowing up the Capitol building. No one says shit about them, but it's us. You know, a music fan group. You know, there's maggots, you know, fans of Slipknot, for those of you who've lived under a rock, that they thrash and they paint their face and they wear masks and they burn shit, they destroy things, but they're not in for like reckless endangerment. They're not in for any of that stuff. They're not even, you know, registered as anything. You know, there was a story where this cop got I think it was like a tail of some kind from an animal, raccoon tail, something, where it was like, you know, illegal to have them. And this sheriff brought this tail to Slipknot and said, "This is a gift for you." We're the bad guys? Whatever. So, next, this is the myths and the responses of the Juggalo Holocaust. And I got a little something special for the Juggalo Holocaust. Juggalo Holocaust, this is the myth. The Juggalo Holocaust hates juggalos because of the music they listen to. The Juggalo Holocaust response is false. We hate juggalos because of their lifestyle, hypocrisy, and negative social impact. Juggalos tend to do whatever they want, including breaking laws. They then cry persecution when caught. There are some that dislike the music, but it's not the primary reason. In fact, that you're all taken in by an elaborate marketing gimmick is enough fodder for us to laugh at. However, my response is this. I went to college. I've worked plenty of places. I went down to the pawn shop on my birthday and got a free movie from these guys. I've got the tattoo on my arm. I showed you guys. There was an old guy who bought one of my custom necklaces that I had a whole bunch of, like, you know, stone skulls on it and a Hatchet Man with 2 meat cleavers. Says my business name, Hatchet's Wicked Check, on it. He bought it. I sold it there for like $35. And this guy gets the charm. And he walks up to me later on and he says, I looked up that symbol and it's gang related. I says, but ICP's suing the FBI for it. This is, I told him about the whole story about Chico, and he says, good for them. My lifestyle consists of YouTubing, consists of spending time with the people that I love and care about. It consists of being out in public and talking with people, chit-chatting with random strangers, going down to collect my unemployment from working at Green Mountain Rifle Barrel. I can see how that's dangerous and how you hate that lifestyle, considering the economy's at like what for a global unemployment rate? Yeah. Hypocrisy and negative social impact. Well, considering I'm fairly, honest, and I got a big thing against hypocrisy, I don't think that's a big issue with me. And negative social impact. As I said, a lot of people around here love me. I've been to Chico, I've been to Michigan. I've got a clean record. Never once been arrested for anything, never once been in cuffs. I was in the back of a police cruiser once, and that was because he was giving me a ride. Yeah, so, fuck you on that one. There are more juggalos than there are haters. False. The Juggalo Holocaust is a representation of a decent, law-abiding citizens that make up the rest of the non-Juggalo world. We far outnumber you on such a massive scale that there is no hope for you to overtake us. You are a very, very small criminal element that stands in the face of a world that tires of your petty crimes and false persecution syndrome. Well, that's a blanket statement, considering I'm law-abiding, I'm a decent guy, I'm a pretty good judge of character. I've made friends with almost everybody. People have said to me, you get along with everybody. Because I do. You're easy to talk to. Because I am. I don't think a gang member has that kind of personality. I think a gang member, I don't see it as very approachable. So if I am not your typical person who's gone to jail and been arrested and calculated for this and da-da-da-da, how many more haven't been? It's a good question. As far as the numbers game go, I really don't give a shit who's there more of. I'd rather send in 4 lions than a million sheep. And as far as I can tell, they've already gone down to name calling, so they've lost this debate. I should stop, but it's, in case you guys don't check out the Juggalo Holocaust website, or you guys don't know about it or whatever. So, there are millions of juggalos. Response? False. If album sales are somewhat accurate representation of Juggalo populace, the last ICP album, Bang Pow Boom, sold about 50,000 copies. There are also multiple versions with different songs, so many juggalos bought more than one copy. Your argument is really, really falling apart at this point. But we're criminals. Petty crimes. For criminals, piracy, torrents, things like that. We're criminals. We download music. We don't go out and buy CDs. We'll steal them. Remember? People that have never heard of ICP are still juggalos. False. This is simply idiotic. There are regular people. Just because people have problems in their lives, are bullied or hated by someone, doesn't make them a juggalo. Perhaps those people don't automatically need a family crutch to fall back on. Perhaps they are strong enough to stand on their own. To label them simply to bolster your own delusion is a despicable act. CPN was talking about family kids being a family versus being a juggalo. We're fam. We shouldn't treat each other as least the family's falling apart. Okay, the whole family thing did not come out until the Wraith era, which is when I entered. And that's all I've known it as. And I said that, but I've done my own research since then. You're in the middle of it all, and people are chanting family, family, like they did when ICP announced that they were suing the FBI. It's become a well-known statement, and it seems like, to me, the juggalos seem like a minority compared to the family kids, which is unfortunate because the juggalos, the people who are down since Carnival of Carnage, these are people we should look up to and listen to and go, hey, you want to know something? These guys have a point. They've been there much longer than we have. For those of us who got in during the Wraith era, because of the time that we were born, you can't expect to listen to, the Insane Clown Posse living in a small town. I was born in Berlin, New Hampshire, and expect to listen to the Carnival of Carnage, Ringmaster, and stuff like that when you were born. I was born in 1990. Then that was, I guess, when Dog Beats came out, and then 2 years later it was the Carnival of Carnage, so on and so forth. And when I was about, I don't know, the Wraith dropped in 2002. I got into it maybe just a few months before it dropped, and about a couple months after that, I bought my first Wraith CD, and then I started getting the charms, started getting the merchandise, the T-shirts. I got my Dark Lotus Black Rain shirt. I don't know where the hell that went, but I'm thinking it got stolen. Anyways, age is a big thing with it, especially if you don't grow up with people, and you don't have a sibling who got you into the music, or parents or whatever. So, that's the family thing isn't a really fair argument, considering that's another blanket statement. Not everyone who listens to ICP is a family kid, and you can't associate all juggalos with the whole family thing, and so that's just bullshit. We're just jealous of the Juggalo family. False, no one is jealous of you. You are weak people. Name calling. They already lost. That cling to each other because you don't have the strength to go at it alone. You are all emotional cripples that flock to a fabricated philosophy to gather together and face common everyday issues as a group because you don't have the willpower to face them. Same problems as everyone else. So, I've never known gangs to be weak either. I figured strength in numbers with, Uzis and AK-47s. I know there was this one up in Chicago, this one gang, and they took this Section 8 housing, and there was one guy, they had it set up like a military, compound. There was one guy at the bottom. You had your weed and stuff like that on the first floor. Second floor was, heroin. Third floor was like crystal meth, crack, cocaine, whatever, and went up. Then you had snipers on the roof. You had guards in the inside. If we're a gang, and gangs are an underground economic revenue intake, I'm pretty sure we would, have some sort of backbone and strength. I don't think we'd be emotionally crippled by any means. Anyone who'd say so, we'd shoot them. I'm certain there are some juggalos, the insane juggalos in Chicago. I'm certain that, there are juggalo gangs out there. But that doesn't even necessarily mean that they're part of the juggalo family thing or whatever. These could be the old school guys. Unless you're interviewing these guys on Gangland and getting some information on it, you're never going to know unless you want to go and ask them yourself. And I invite you to do so. Wear a bulletproof vest. We are a family, not a gang. False. How you label something does not change the fundamental principle. You're a group that throws up hand signs, dresses alike. What about the goths? What about the jocks? What about the cocks that walk around the school and think they're all big and bad and wear the same blazers? What about the kids that are, dorkish and, wear trench coats and shoot up schools? Commit crimes and have a general disdain for law and order. Again, juggalo, law-abiding citizen. You are a gang. The fact that ICP started as a gang and the music reflected this lifestyle cements this fact. See lyrical examples above. Again, I'm going to resort back to Tupac, Biggie, all those guys who've done, look at the NWA and shit like that. Their fans never got listed as gang, and that was some pretty hardcore, thug music. So again, that doesn't hold much water, in my opinion, if you're going to look at it that way. Like I said, it's all or none. We throw up hand signs. Not all of us do. Again, another blanket statement. And those that do, it's not necessarily a gang symbol. People throw up, peace and stuff like that, or they wave. Anything you do now can be considered, any hand gesture can be considered gang affiliated. Like when I was in Perry High School, I graduated and we got to pick our senior picture. We could pick a picture to be put in the yearbook, but you could not be showing your hands. Not even if they were like this, not if they were like this, not if they were, like this. You couldn't do any of that stuff because anything that you could have possibly done would have been considered, could be interpreted or considered gang affiliated, and they didn't want that in the senior yearbook. So hands were completely cut out. You could do this to somebody, like you're going to backhand them, and you could throw that up as a gang sign. Everything, this, that, this. I mean, it's all pretty much taken and it's all old. As a matter of fact, a lot of gangs, you know, they do like, you know, stuff like this and retarded shit. But I've never seen, you know, that. You know, I've seen people throw up hand signs all the time. You know, people that wave, people that throw up, you know, the WC, whatever. And, you know, that's you know, maggots. I'm pretty sure they've got theirs by now. I'm not a maggot. I don't listen to music anyways. It sucks nuts. But apparently these guys are real law-abiding citizens. But I'd say we check their records and see what kind of parents they are as well. Because these guys seem very narrow-minded. And here's one of my favorite ones. Myth: juggalos, wicked clowns never die. False. Yes, you do. Here's a smart one for you. Albert Einstein: energy cannot be created nor destroyed, so technically we don't die, we just change. So, that goes with everybody, though. But I'm sure it became like, you know, we don't die. We go into another thing. It could go on with the whole juggalism thing about the afterlife, the Dark Carnival. The Wraith release, you know, that they, in the Wraith CD, they revealed that they worship God. Could have brought up the religious thing when they said, you know, we snuck it in subliminally and put the wicked shit around it. So, juggalos always have family. False: juggalos always claim that they are a giant family and we will always have each other's back. However, when one juggalo does something that goes against another's code of juggalo ethics, which varies from juggalo to juggalo, they are called fake juggaho or something other disparaging name. This is no unity or love between you people because you're not a family. You're simply pathetic and clinging to any sense of belonging. I would like to redirect you to the kids who shot up Columbine. I'd like to redirect you to all these people who, you know, dress as goths, who wear the short shorts, who dress the same. In high school, you'll see a bunch of different cliques. I don't know. Any sense of belonging? Well, you know, a lot of people, especially when you're younger and you've been bullied and picked on, yeah, you kind of look for a group of kids, you know. Some kid's going to dress up and do, you know, he's going to start dressing them in the baggy clothes, as CPM was talking about. You know, he's going to do this and that. You know, one kid, he's going to see these goth kids, he's going to start, you know, putting makeup on and dressing like a girl. But as far as being pathetic, that's, again, name-calling. So this really holds no water. Once you've gone to name-calling and no one's even made a statement, you've lost. As far as the family goes, when it's time to go over to the FBI, sue them, do whatever it is we're going to do, go into court, get our statements made, please, I urge you, do not use the term family. The Mafia, also known as Cosa Nostra, is a criminal syndicate that emerged in the mid-19th century in Sicily, Italy. It is a loose association of criminal groups that share a common organizational structure, that code of conduct, and whose common enterprise is protection, racketeering. Each group, known as a family, clan, or cosca, claims sovereignty over a territory in which it operates its rackets, usually a town or village or a neighborhood, borgata, of a larger city. Its members call themselves men of honor, although the public often refers to them as mafiosi. Now, family is also used in mafia terms. So you go and claiming family, they're gonna pull up a billion and one things with Al Capone, Lucky Luciano, you know, Machine Gun Kelly, all these other gangsters from like the 1910s to the 1930s and 40s. They're going to show all these active gang members and these mafias, and they're going to throw the term family in there a dozen times. I can already foresee it happening. This is the FBI, and this is how courts happen. Prosecutors will cling on to anything. If they've got a weak case, they will pull any records, any references, anything they possibly can to throw at the judge, who's going to go, unless, you know, they get a trial by jury, or unless it gets over to the Supreme Court, in which case the Supreme Court's going to be a bunch of old people sneezing and coughing and throwing shit up that they're just going to be like, oh, it's the FBI, we should probably trust their judgment. That's the United States for you. So, as a proper response, no term of family, I would not recommend it. people who have been there since the beginning, I would often recommend telling them where the music had started. Tell them it's a small group of people. You could even blame it on the family kids for all I care. But someone who's been there from the beginning knows what they're talking about, should definitely be there, like the Insane Clown Posse and stuff like that, to be able to back them up and have the fans to do so. You don't want crazy Joey down the street going, yeah, fuck the FBI, and you know, yeah, so what if we're gang members, and whoop whoop, and family for life. If you have that guy in a courtroom, you're going to fail horribly, and it's not going to help things. So you need to be selective on what juggalos go in and out and which ones make their statements. I couldn't be any more clear on that. That's the number one don't. Do not have Crazy Joey or Insane Billy or Psycho Bob going in there and making an ass of themselves. No, have somebody who's going to have some decency to some social standards. Because if not, it's not going to help anything, and that's going to defeat what ICP is trying to do. Now, you could go as far as saying, but if we alienate these poor kids who Crazy Billy and Nutty Joe and Psycho Bob, then we're not doing what we said we'd do. Well, then if you're saying that, you're obviously a family kid and you're not interested in hatchet gear, you're not interested in what's good for, you know, that business, because you could sit there and say, well, it's not about the money. I'm going to tell you right now, it is about the money, because you know, there was worries about, you know, shows getting rated, this and that, which is probably why Twisted left, because of the affiliation thing. And there's, you know, all you saw was Violent J and Shaggy Tudo, but it was anybody kill it. If you look at the theme of Hatchet Warrior, where he was talking about gangs, the whole theme of it was the movie The Warriors. That's all he was doing. He even did a remake of In the City from bands that tip my tongue here. Anyway, some old classic rock band. I can't think of it right now. The Eagles. Thank you. But as far to go that Twisted and Blaze and all this is, you know, it doesn't say anything about ABK, Tech 9, or any of that. It says Insane Clown Posse fans. I would assume that Twisted fans would be, you know, counted out for that. They'd be like, well, no, they listened to Twisted and Blaze and ABK. Even though it was ABK's album where that first thing, you know, you're with a Hatchet Man, yeah, you in a gang, you asked baby ready to do that thing. That was off of an album that all it talked about was, you know, gangs, you know, references and stuff like that. It was Anybody Killer's first CD. And you're going to go all the way back to that before any of this started. And that's bullshit. You know, you got a Hatchet Man, you know, 30 years ago, and now all of a sudden you're a gang member and you're like in your 50s and 60s. I mean, shit, what the fuck are you doing? It's, you know, what is it you could possibly be doing at that age where, you know, you've been in the music, you probably don't even listen to it anymore, and you still have a Hatchet Man, you want to get it covered up, and you're a gang member. It's retarded. You know, we didn't establish ourselves as a gang. We were called it. Every gang that I could think of, they're like, yeah, we're a gang. But we've always been like, no, we're not a gang. But now the FBI's going, no, you are a gang. So you're going to classify us instead of, you know, us saying, you know, if we came out and said it, I could understand that. But you're going by lyrics and by rap groups who do these things and sing these songs to make some money. Lots of money. The music industry is loaded with money. And that's where these people go to make money. It's record labels, make music, because that's what musicians do. What a fucking concept. So, don't have these people go into the court and be idiots. Number one. Number two, have strong arguments. I would recommend using juggalos who don't have criminal records. I'd recommend the ones that have been newly installed in the gangs and have a criminal background check, things like that, and have things appealed. You know, do whatever it is that you can. You know, show them that you've been working where you've worked. However it is you do it in court. I don't know. I've never been into a courtroom. But that's my advice for that portion. As far as unity goes, family, kids, there's a, before you get into the whole FBI thing and whatnot, you should probably pay attention back into the Wraith era. That's when a lot of these issues pretty much started. It's when the family kids came out. It's when female juggalos started calling themselves juggalettes. I was talking to my friend Julianne about that, and there was issues going on with that as well. You know, ICP has said it. You know, I was doing some research on the whole juggalettes and versus the female juggalos thing, and they're like, you know, ICP's like, yeah, juggalettes, show your tits, but that came after the Wraith era. You know, they're like, yeah, juggalettes. You know, we got people call themselves lets, and then, you know, it's called homie hoppers and groupies and stuff like that. FBI will also use that in saying that we have our own groupies and we have our female people who we dice to come into the gang. The term dice is a gang leader most of the time will roll a dice, one or two depending on the members, how many there are, and she has to screw each one of those gang members in order to be initiated. So don't go in with the terms juggalettes because they will eat you alive with that as well. Yeah, long video, but this is pretty much me doing what I can to help you guys out. But that's what I found on the Juggalo Holocaust. That's what's going on out in the world. A lot of people haven't even heard about us. You've seen a lot of things. You know, people look it up and they say, you know, it's tacky on a car. It's this and that. You know, some people are like, I've never even seen that symbol. But I've never heard that, you know, anyone being threatened by anything. I mean, on anywhere and anything. Except for, you know, a couple of years back, there was a guy who murdered his girl, and some other guy with a giant battle axe or whatever and said it was an accident. Unless you accidentally dropped the dude, I'm seriously doubting it was an accident. Because this motherfucker was like an axe that had like a mace chain ball with spikes on the bottom of it, and he accidentally killed somebody with it. I'm like, you run into someone's house with that, it's no fucking accident. You did that deliberately. At least take account for your own actions. Come on now. But, yeah, it doesn't... that's, you know, murderous crimes. Marilyn Manson didn't get charged with it after Columbine. And everyone was spewing Marilyn Manson. Marilyn Manson this, Marilyn Manson... He canceled his fucking tour, the rest of his tour, in memory for the people at Columbine. But he had no gang-related affiliation, no nothing. We have never been blamed on for any school shooting. The only time I can think of anybody who's ever pointed the finger was when Bill O'Reilly was going around and bad-mouthing the music and talking to the artists so he could sit there and tell them how horrible they are and what they're doing to society and their kids. Republicans, narrow-minded people, stay away from them. But, yeah, that's my advice. That's all I can pretty much offer right now and bring to the table. Do your own research on Google. But, like I said, do not mention juggalettes. Do not tell them we have our own, you know, family. None of that. Don't. That is a major don't. They will eat you alive and spit you out and then eat you again and regurgitate you like the maggots that they are. Yeah, don't do it. Anything else in court, you know, dress neat, don't have crazy Bob, Psycho Joe, any of those guys going to court with you and representing you guys. Be smart, be safe, don't blow up the IRS building. Peace.